All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another live stream. Thank you all for joining me today, and I hope you're all having a good Friday. It's been a good Friday for me. Been busy lately, so we're not back with another machine learning topic, unfortunately. So, and part of the reason for that is, and I think I mentioned this in previous live streams, is part of preparation for these live streams is doing studying and learning myself. And transparently, I've not really been doing much machine learning studying lately, and the reason for that is I've gotten really into wanting to learn math this summer, which is I know that might seem like a weird left turn, and I have a kind of a weird reason for wanting to do that. I mean, I think it is definitely helpful in terms of my machine learning, deep learning career path anyway. But yeah, so I've been taking courses on Khan Academy. I've been reading books. Actually, so, if y'all have ever looked at my shelf, I've been reading, if I might recommend some books, because, the one thing, I don't know how much, do I want to go deep into this? Well, I'll tell you why. So because this is going to sound totally crazy to some of you. So because the reason of learning math has nothing to do with business or anything, actually. So the reason I wanted to do is, just a little bit of background about me. You all might know that I don't have a formal degree in computer science at all or anything like that. And I actually went to a small Christian university because I actually wanted to be a Christian church pastor at one point. I changed my mind at one point, and I don't actually consider myself like adopting to the Christian beliefs, even though I respect anybody that does. But I would still consider myself a very inquisitive individual. And so the interesting thing is when you think about historical mathematicians like Archimedes or Rene Descartes, people like that, you might be wondering. I'm sorry. You might be familiar with the fact that they are also prominent mathematicians, and so you might be wondering, well, why is that the case? And the reason that is because math is really just trying to understand. It's basically the science of finding patterns, and we live in a very patterned universe. And so the question is, and the same thing that it's the same question that these legacy mathematicians ask themselves is, how can we understand the universe through math? And so that's what I'm trying to do, which is like that probably sounds really like weird and out there to you. So in terms of that, so I actually am taking my studies very seriously with this. Like I said, I'm doing these courses on Khan Academy and reading these books. So, but like if I am to recommend any books just to get your interest primed in math, I might recommend a couple books that are sitting up on my shelf up there. So off on the left, there are 3 books over here, trying to point to them. So these 3 books right here with the white ends. So these are 3 books written by Ben Orlin, author Ben Orlin. He has his own website called Math with Bad Drawings, and as it kind of the name implies, he has these books out here that teach you different concepts of math with his very poor drawings. And so those are really entertaining books. So he has 3 books out there. Math with Bad Drawings, Change is the Only Constant. So that is like a calculus focused book. And then his newest offering, Math Games with Bad Drawings. So those are 3 great books. And then another one right in the middle there, this one with the white binding right next to the Lord of the Rings. That's another great one called The Joy of X by Steven Strogat. So that is similar to Math with Bad Drawings, but it's more of like a I don't want to say novel, but like I guess a chapter book as opposed to something that's got more drawings. And then the one that I've actually been reading the most recently is the one right here, also by Dr. Steven Strogatz. It's called Infinite Powers. And so this one is all about, a conceptual understanding of how calculus came to be and why calculus is so important. And let me tell you, I'm a good way through the book already. But oh my gosh, this book has been absolutely fantastic. It's dense. I mean, it's dense in the sense that like there's a lot of stuff here, but I will say Stephen, he does a great job at writing things to where people can understand them. He's like a national treasure. Like I think like he also has his own podcast, The Joy of Why. I've never actually met the person, but I would assume that he's probably one of the nicest individuals in the world. He just seems like such a warm and friendly guy. So can't recommend those enough. Anyway, so I am way sidetracked over here, and so I haven't really been doing much in terms of new machine learning lately. Machine learning. Yeah, I guess. I haven't done that much lately. But so a couple months back, you might recall that I started this project called the Python Wordle clone project. So you all might be familiar with the New York Times phenomena, or I guess the New York Times brought this out of this game you can play where you're basically trying to guess a Wordle word each day. And so I thought it'd be fun to teach people the basics of Python through this project here. And I kind of let that project go, honestly. I kind of forgot about it. And just this last week, somebody reached out to me on LinkedIn and said, hey, I really liked your first project, and I've been following through it. When's the next one coming? And I was like, well, I haven't even thought about that. And I did not have anything planned for today. And so I literally just thought, like 1 hour ago, like, let's get on and like do more of this project. So I am woefully underprepared for today, but I think we'll do all right anyway. So and the one third thing this person also asked, he asked a great question of is there a reason I'm using Python? And the only reason I'm using Python is because it's the primary language that I know. I would actually say that anything that we're doing, it can probably be done in pretty much any computer coding language. I definitely know it can be done in Java. I definitely know it can be done in JavaScript. It's just that, in the data science world, Python is probably the most prevalent and popular language, and thus I selected it. And also, fun fact, I don't know if people know this, I actually started off my computer science journey learning Java, and let me tell you, I wish I would have started with Python because Python's in my opinion, is way easier to learn than Java. Okay, so enough of me waffling. So let me go and show up my screen here, and let's do a brief recap of where we left off last time. So this is we were working out of a Jupyter notebook originally, and so if you are familiar with what Jupyter notebooks are, they are an interactive Python environment where you can run these, so that like these different gray rectangles here are different cells, if you will, and so you can run them out of order. And so I personally like to use Jupyter notebooks just for like testing purposes, if you will, just trying to test out different things. But at the end of the day, when it comes to even if it's a machine learning project, because we primarily use Jupyter notebooks for in the data science world for uncovering new trends and stuff within a body of data. It is never a good idea to keep that as a Jupyter notebook, because a Jupyter notebook is really designed for discovery and it's not designed for a deployment environment. So in this live stream today, we are going to step outside of the Jupyter notebook world, and we're going to step into the IDE. And so if you're not familiar with what IDE stands for, IDE is an integrated development environment. There are a lot of different tools out there that are free, open source, that you can download. So one of the most popular ones in the world is VS Code. So I personally do not use VS Code, but you are absolutely welcome to use VS Code. I personally use IntelliJ, and IntelliJ offers an IntelliJ Community Edition, so that one's a free offering, and then there's an IntelliJ Ultimate Edition that offers some more advanced functionality. So transparently, at home, I use the Community Edition because I'm cheap, and I have no reason to use the premium functionality, but at work, I do use IntelliJ Ultimate, so just so you're aware. Okay, so let's review what we did last time. So what we started with was, one of the first things that we need to do whenever we work with a Python project is we need to import any sort of extra functionality that we need to enable our project. So we refer to these as software libraries. And so you can see here that, so Python actually offers a couple of, default, if you will, software libraries. So random is one of these. And the way I described it in the previous live stream is that imagine, you got your iPhone here, like the iPhone, and the iPhone comes with a bunch of default apps. And the default apps are things like, the messaging app, the notes app, things like that. But like, let's say you want to install, like you really want Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever, then you download that to your phone, and then you can do that. So, Python or software libraries like Python software libraries are in a similar vein where, we're not downloading an app, but we're downloading, some sort of functionality from some source that would enable us to do some extra things. And in fact, we'll be using one additional new Python library today. So I'm purposefully trying to keep things super simple. So you'll notice here there's only one import. Everything else is just standard Python, just standard stuff that we can do in Python without doing anything. So let's go ahead and go down the list here. So one of the things that we did here is I found this text document that contains 10,000 of the most common words with no swear words in here. And the reason that we downloaded this is because this has all the different words that we can use for a Wordle project. So and it's words of all different kinds of lengths. So when we imported this, so we use this, with functionality to actually import this text document and read it in using this read lines thing. And then we actually created a list out of this text document here by iterating through all the words in the word list and then getting rid of these what we call new line characters. So these new line characters are they're invisible if you actually read them let me actually pull them up. Let me see if I can pull them up in here. So this is the actual text document. So you can see that we just have a bunch of words and it looks like they're all on new lines. But technically speaking, what the computer actually sees is this word, and then there's an invisible thing that is the new line character there that is denoting that we need to move on to a new line. And so if I actually were to just read this in as is without doing this replace business, so what this replace business is doing is basically saying, okay, replace the new line character with nothing. That's why we have empty quotes there. And so if I were to read this in without doing this, then we would have all these words and then that /n character at the end of them. So that's what we were doing there. And then so, Wordle is typically a 5-letter word game, although I guess we could make it to where because we have words of different lengths in here, that I guess we could make it to where a person could select how long they want to do it. Maybe. I'll think about that. Probably not today because I'm woefully underprepared. One other thing, by the way, if you are watching on either YouTube or LinkedIn right now live, I'm monitoring the chats for questions, so feel free to ask them as you will. There's about a 20-second delay, so I apologize if I don't get them to them immediately. But anyway, so we parsed in this cell here. We parsed our word list down to just the 5-letter words here. So we got our word list, and then we are iterating through our word list with this for loop here. So we were basically saying, okay, for every word in this word list, if the word is 5 letters, then append it to this new empty list that I instantiated above. So, we instantiated this 5-letter words, and then we are appending our word. And then when we actually want to just grab one of these random words whenever we're going in through and playing our game here, then we can use this random.choice function to pass in our 5-letter words, and then it's going to give us one of those back. So one thing to keep in mind here is the idea of functions. So functions are more basically, the way I like to imagine them is they're input output machines. So you throw some stuff in and you get some stuff out. So like if you're making bread, for example, and this is a real world example, not a computer science example, a function, an example of a function might be where we input all of our our inputs, so the flour, the yeast, the whatever else goes to the bread, and then on the other side you get baked bread. And so in the middle there, this function is basically saying, okay, with my raw ingredients and stuff, the function actually does everything that it would need to do. So like the combination of the ingredients, the popping it into the bread oven, whatever. I don't bake bread. So this is a terrible analogy, but like on the other side, you get the baked bread. So in the case of this random.choice here, so this is a default function that is offered by Python here, is basically saying, okay, if you pop in a list here, so a list of all of our 5-letter words, we will give you back one of them randomly. So that's what that's basically doing. And we're going to be creating our own functions today. So and so that's why I'm dwelling on this a little bit. Okay, so the way I'm kind of just reminding myself as I go what I did here. So the way I did this here, continuing along here is, so it looks like I created a dictionary here. So by the way, lists are in brackets like this. So we refer to these square-ended little guys as brackets, whereas dictionaries are generally delineated by these curly braces. So we refer to these things as curly braces. And so a dictionary is basically a collection of what we call key value pairs. And so a key value pair can be like, just like you would look up in a dictionary. If I wanted to, I'm trying to think of a good analogy that's not terrible. But basically, so if you look up some sort of key, it will return a value for you. So what I was doing here is you know, if I chose and there's a reason I chose like this original word of teeth here is because there's 2 T's and 2 E's in it. So this dictionary is basically saying, okay, hold all the character values for each remaining word here. And so the dictionary at the end of this case would be, you know, you'd have a key of T and then a value of 2, a key of E and a value of 2, and a key of H with a value of 1, and then nothing else. So just the 3 key value pairs there, because there's only 3 unique letters in the word teeth, as opposed to the word thick, which is, you know, 1 for 1. So that would always be just, you know, 1 T, 1 H, 1 H, 1 I, 1 C, 1 K. And then, so that's how we were creating this dictionary here. Then we were turning... then we basically took the letters of that word and put them in a list that we could then iterate through. And so then after we iterate through the list, then we are basically trying to do a match between our guessed word versus our real word. So our guessed word here, so okay, so this is the actual word. So the actual word that we're trying to look for is craps, which was randomly selected by this dictionary. I'm not that immature. I didn't even notice that until now. And then here's our guess word here. And so basically what all of this functionality here is doing is basically doing the same thing that Wordle is trying to do. Is basically saying, okay, if you have the right letter in the right place, you get a green square. If you have the right letter but it's in the wrong place, you get a yellow square. And that's what all this code is doing. And so I'm not going to go through this too much. And then finally, we join them all together to produce this result right here, which is basically the same output as Wordle. So, you know, in this case, you know, we craps versus thick, so we have 1 C, but it is in the wrong place, which is why we note that, you know, you had the letter C there that was correct, but it is in the wrong place. Okay, so now we're going to take this and we want to turn, I want to turn this into an interactive script here. And so, like I said, we are going to get out of the Jupyter Notebook and come into IntelliJ here. So we are going to use Python files. And so you can see off on the left navigation, I apologize, I can't zoom into the left nav here. But basically under most repositories with coding repositories, maintain all of their code under a directory or file called src. Oh, by the way, so you know, if you're not really a computer science person, you're probably inclined to want to call these things like files. We in the computer science world try to not use that nomenclature because you know, it can kind of be confusing. So instead of calling it a file, we call it a directory. So in most coding projects, you'll see this referred to as the src source directory. And you can see I've already started to create a couple of Python files in here. So Python files, as you can guess, end in the .py extension. And you can ignore the underscore init file here. We'll talk about that in a future live stream. Oh, and I guess so to make a comment about that real quick. This won't be the last live stream for this project because I think what I want to do eventually is get it to where we can basically create our own Python package, and then we can upload it to this grandiose repository called PyPy, and that's where we download all our stuff from. And so I think that'd be really cool. We're not going to do that today. Definitely not going to do that today. That is a topic for another day. But anyway, so this init file will become important at that point. So anyway, so when it comes to Python or any other coding language, it really does not matter how many Python files you can create or I see your note there, Dan. Okay, that's funny. All right, sorry, I got a little bit derailed with that message there. Anyway, so if you can create however many files that you want there, it just depends on how much you want to do. So what I typically like to do is I'll do at least one main.py file. So the main, and I try to keep it as named as main, just so people understand, okay, this is basically the entry point. Like, this is where we start things off at. And then maybe I'll do a helpers file. And so the helpers file will contain a list of functions that get imported into like the main file for usage later. And so that's actually what I'm doing at the top of the screen here is I started to import the helpers files here. So what I actually I already did a little bit of the work on the side because I didn't want to, rehash too much here. So this is the helpers.py file. And so I have turned the same logic that we did in this notebook here into a function. And so again, same idea here. So in this function, so this is how a function looks like in Python. So a function begins with this keyword of def. I don't know what def stands for per se. It might stand for definition or something like that. And then we give it an arbitrary name. It's usually, so you can name it whatever you want. Most people try to do a like an active verb followed by a noun or whatever. So in this case, it is compare words. And then within the parentheses here are our inputs that we are going to be passing in. So we are passing in our guess word, and so this is the word that we're guessing, and then the actual word. So this is the one that we're actually trying to like target. So and it's then going to do a comparison. So below here, within the three quotes here, like the three sets of quotes here, so on line 2 and line 11, this is referred to as a docstring. So this is actually not doing any sort of actual code itself. So you may see down here on line 13. So if you want to do just like a single line comment, we typically just use the pound sign or the hashtag or whatever you want to call it. So and this is basically just a plain language explanation of the code. This is actually not doing literally anything. It's not doing anything except being informative for the reader. And so in a similar capacity, we have these things called docstrings. And so docstrings are basically things that you would attach to a function like this that tell you what the function is doing. And there's not really there is like a way that like it is recommended to write the docstrings. I hate it. I think it's terrible. So this is my way of writing a docstring. So the way that I've written it here is, so at the top is this is describing what the function is doing. So it's comparing the word guessed by the person to the actual word for correctness. And so then you actually describe what your inputs and what your outputs are, basically, or what your inputs and what your returns are. So our inputs in this case are going to be the guess word and the actual word, and then it's describing what these actually are, and then that these are of the type string. So these are words in Python, or letters in Python put together are referred to as strings. And so then the final output is a string of the properly colored emojis indicating level of correctness. So again, that's basically this thing at the bottom right here. Okay, and then otherwise, the rest of this function is literally just a copy and paste over from this other notebook here. So nothing new here, but I did just want to get this out of the way beforehand. So I did start to create a new function here. I have not populated this at all yet. It's just called starting a new round. Yeah, so again, like I said, we're in the helpers.py file here. And so the question is how do we make use of the helpers, and then how do we actually initiate the script? So when we want to initiate a script in Python, this is kind of going to look like some weird syntax here, and this is why we like to use an integrated development environment like this, is because you can see here that it's doing some proper syntax highlighting of things. So back to the helpers file here, you can see that the syntax is being highlighted in the docstring as green here, whereas keywords are being highlighted as purple, or functions are being highlighted here as blue. And so it's kind of nice. Those colors help to indicate, okay, that like I'm doing all right here in terms of the syntax. And then it's also it also does syntax correction too. So like if it sees something here that looks goofy, it's kind of like similar to if you open a Word document and you misspell a word and it's got the like red squiggly underneath, then it'll tell you like you did something wrong. And then if you're curious what the green here on the left is, so this is really for Git functionality. So I'm not going to talk about Git today. I've talked about it in another thing. So, but basically you can ignore this for now. It's basically saying, okay, I added some new lines to this file, or if it's orange over here, then I've updated something. So actually, I guess I updated whatever line 5 here is. Okay, so back into the main.py file here, how do we actually initiate this thing? And I'll go ahead and delete this. So like, let's pretend like this main.py file here is totally blank. So the way that we initiate a Python file is by doing this syntax: if name equals main. I never remember this off the top of my head. I'm surprised it's not autofilling for me right now. Hold on, this is odd. All right, what's going on here? All right, Python. I don't, because usually like when I start typing this, then it'll just like populate it for me. If name equals main. Okay, so that's what the syntax here is. Okay, so this is basically the syntax for initiating a Python script. And so then everything after this colon, and I don't know why my IntelliJ is not doing the auto indentation. Something's screwy. Oh, I know what's going on. Well, I think I know what's going on. So I'm an idiot, and I accidentally left the beta functionality on for my Mac. And so last week my Mac updated to macOS Ventura, and oh my gosh, I'm regretting doing that. I did not mean to do that, and so it screwed up a lot of stuff. And so I have a hunch that it screwed up with IntelliJ here. So this is basically saying, okay, when this main.py file is initiated, then we're going to start running some commands underneath here. So just to illustrate it, let's just print out the word hello. And so this is, or hello world, if you will, since it's so popular. And now I'm going to open a terminal down here. I'm going to clear this out. And so then when I run the keyword Python, and then main.py, then you can see hello world has appeared. So it is basically saying, okay, we see you, we're doing this. And so now this is basically our entry point into our script. Now, as you saw before I deleted this, we also typically do all of our imports at the top of the script. So importing the necessary Python libraries. And so we are going to need, now if we want to make use of our own custom functions, what we do is we use the from keyword, so from, and so we named our other file over here helpers. So helpers dot, and then we don't need to put py because it gets why that it's there. And then from helpers import, and then I am going to use star. So star is basically saying I want to import everything from over here. But if I only wanted to import this, I could just say from helpers import compare words, etc. And so next challenge, do a movie doll clone. Movie doll clone. What is, Nick? I want to know what that is. I don't know exactly what that you're referring to there. So import star, boom. All right, and we are also going to need to import random. Well, actually, I think I need to import over here, don't I? I probably need to. This is the one thing that I always get a little bit confused on. If when you import helper functions like this, does the import need to be over here or over there? Okay, so import random. All right, so import random, and it doesn't matter what order you do these in, but I am such a stickler for weird neatness. So import random. Okay. And all right, so that is I think those are the two main imports that we need. And so I actually do want to initiate the script with just like an introduction. So welcome to our Wordle, or welcome to the Wordle, my Python Wordle game. Enter your first guess. Boom. Guess. Okay, so, and then at the end here, I am going to put a new line character. So that is going to say, okay, I want to do a new line here. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to structure this. Like I said, I am woefully underprepared for this, so I'm just going off the top of my head here. So I actually, because I started to do a function in here that is starting a new round, so I'm trying to think what's the best way to do this. So because if the what am I trying to say here? When the round completes, we're going to give an option if a person wants to continue on, or if they want to go, or if they're done and they just want to exit out. So enter your first guess. Oh, one thing that we do need to do that I did not include here is that we do need to import our text file from over here. Oops. And I don't remember how I did that. Well, I do remember how I did that, but I'm kind of lazy sometimes, and I don't want to have to, if I already typed it out once, I don't want to type it again. Well, what is going on here? Confirm. All right, where are we at? Sorry. Oh, okay, sorry. I got distracted. All right. What is a movie doll clone? I am very curious of what that is. All right, so src helpers. Oh wait, so sorry. Oh, this is the other thing that this Ventura is gonna drive me nuts. Is like every time I swipe back now on the Safari browser, it wants to go back like 2. So Nick, if I see you watching this, be aware that Ventura is funky. Like, I don't know if you've seen that, because I know you do the stuff with our Mac systems here, but I am so mad that my computer got updated to Ventura. I can't believe that happened. Like, because at least with the iOS betas, you have to sign up every single year. So I didn't sign up this year for the beta Ventura, like the Ventura beta, but for some reason it got installed on my computer anyway. Okay, so what was I doing? I'm going back to my Jupyter notebook up here, and then so we need to load in our words. All right, so with open, I'm gonna call this. And then, so this is just like a personal thing that I like to do for organizational purposes. Script setup. And then I'm going to put some more comments down here. Okay, so basically like Wordle, but it's movies. The twist is that the entire movie will play in 1 second after it plays. You guess the movie. If you can't guess it, it's played slower. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. I bet we could do that for sure if I wanted to. Yeah, that's an interesting thought. Okay, so this is like my fake version of like a break here. All right, so I'm gonna paste this code here. So I'm going to say importing word list from static text file. So that is, I don't even remember where I got this list. I know it's from GitHub somewhere, and you know, it's obviously got the word Google on it, so I'm sure it came from Google in some capacity. So reading the new lines here, and then I wanted to also strip out the stripping out the new line characters. So stripping out the new line characters from stripping out the new line characters from each word. Okay. And then this is the one thing where I said, so like this is where we did the 5-letter words. We could make this Wordle clone like a little bit different in the sense that we could extend it beyond just 5 words. And I'm gonna have to look. I don't even remember how many guesses you get for Wordle. That's the one thing that like I've never really understood the appeal of Wordle, because you only get 1 word a day, and it's like, well, great. Like at least I can understand with like a crossword, like one crossword a day. Yeah, that's fine. That's like an hour-long activity at least. If if you're good, I'm sure it's like 30 minutes or whatever. But like but a Wordle game is like 30 seconds, and so I don't know who's going out every single day to play a 30-second game. That sounds like more work than it's actually worth. Yeah, so anyway, all right, so that is the word list, and just to keep things simple, I am going to call it I actually think I will change this, but maybe I'll update this in the future. Paring things down, paring our list down to 5-letter words. And just for now, I'm actually gonna, instead of calling this 5-letter words, I'm gonna call this n-letter words. So n standing for number, and that is the typical like thing that we do in math. There is, instead of calling, if we have like a nondescript number, we just use the letter n there. All right, so we are paring our list down to 5-letter words there, and let me give me some more room to work here. Okay, and some more space, and I'm gonna call this. So that's script setup. Oh, that's what I wanted. I don't know why I did that. Okay, and I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna put this down here. I'm gonna call this script instantiation. Okay, what was I saying or thinking about? Okay, so I was thinking about, all right, so we are initiating our script here, and then we have our letters in tow, and then we need to start a new round. So when we start a new round, we want to, do I want to do it as a helper function or not? Maybe I don't want to do it as a helper function. Well, oh, maybe I want to do this as a while loop. Because there's a number of different ways that we could have this go. So while, all right, yeah, I think I maybe want to do this as a while loop. New round equals true. Starting off the script by noting the new round boolean as true. Okay, so what I'm thinking about doing here is, so this is what we call a Boolean value. So this is when something is true or false, it is called a Boolean value. And so basically what I'm thinking of is initiating or starting the, or well, not starting. I'm thinking out loud. So I told somebody not too long ago that this is the reason I need to do prep and live streams, because I can't talk and think at the same time. And like I said, I decided to do this live stream like an hour before I got on here. Okay, so starting off a new round by setting the Boolean value to be true. All right, so continuing through each round until new round is false. So basically what I'm going to say here is we are going to use this thing called a while statement. And so what a while statement is basically saying is, continue doing this loop of whatever you want to do until the while statement no longer meets its condition. So while new round, so this is shorthand. So we could have said, we could have made this a string value to be yes. And so then we would say while new round equals yes. But, I think it's just cleaner if to just use a Boolean value here. So while new round equals true, then we don't need to do this equals sign. So this equals, by the way, is a comparison operator. So it's basically saying, okay, how does this compare to this? So if this was still, well, let me change this back to the yes. If this was still yes, then this would obviously satisfy the condition, and therefore the while loop would still continue. So, but in this case, I'm just going to use the while equals true. And so when I do a new round, as long as this Boolean value continues to remain true, we will continue iterating over and over and over through our loop here. So welcome to the main world game. Enter your first guess. Okay, so let me actually, I'm going to have to go to the Wordle site because I actually don't remember how many guesses you get. So Wordle, New York Times. All right, so you get 6 tries. Okay, 6 tries. All right, I'm trying to think of what's the best way to do this. So we want to have it go through, and each time we get a new word. All right, so we want a new word. Well, I guess we don't need random in here. I don't know what I was thinking. All right, so come back to here. We don't need random up here because the random actually doesn't come inside this factor at that point. All right, so first thing we need to do is, so while new round, we need to getting our random word from our list of words. So this is where, again, we're basically doing the same thing that we did up here of getting the random word. So I'm going to copy this code here. I do remember that I changed the variable name, so I'm going to have to update that real quick. So actual word equals n letter words. Okay, so that is our actual word. And then so I'm going to take this out of here. I'm going to move this down. Well, welcome to okay, I'm going to call this hope you have a fun time. Hope you have a fun time, because I do hope you have a fun time. Sometimes I'm an idiot. Okay, so I hope you have a fun time. All right, so we have our actual word, and then we actually want to getting the guess from. All right, while new round. All right. Okay, so this is where I gotta think about what's the best way we want to do this. And of course, when I say best way, it's just the way that I prefer to do it. You could do this thing a multitude of different ways. You don't even have to use Python per se. You can use any of the other coding languages. This is just the way I'm kind of just going off the top of my head. All right, so while new round, I'm gonna put enter. All right, well, so I'm gonna start a counter. So setting a counter for guest count. So I'm going to call this guest count equals 0. All right, so basically that's saying, okay, so we're going to start out with 0 guesses, and then we're going to keep incrementing this number for each time you get this wrong. So guess count, so we are getting our actual word, getting the guess from the input of the user. So guess word equals, so this is where we use another default function in Python called input, and we're going to call this what word what is your guess? And then I'm going to call this new line. Okay, and just to make sure that things are going well so far, I'm going to print out the guess word. Print out guess word. All right, so let's go ahead and try initiating this for now and just to see how things are going. So let me clear out this so you can see it. So when I do Python main.py, what is your guess? I'm going to say David. All right, and then it printed out my guess. So what is your guess? Oh, because it's iterating through the loop. It's not going to stop. So there's nothing stopping it here, which means I'm going to have to intentionally break out of here, which is fine. Hundley equals that. Okay, so now one thing we do need to make sure here is that we the user is importing the right variable here. So or the right word here. So if they're trying to, if we got like we're guessing a 5-letter word, we want to ensure that they're guessing 5 letters and nothing longer or nor shorter. So all right, okay, so to that end, oops, didn't mean to do that. I'm gonna break out of here. I'm gonna make this smaller again for now. Okay, all right, so what is your guess word? So validating that the guess word is of the right type. All right, so that's what we're going to be doing here is if guess word is not equal. So the way we do not equal, excuse me, is with the exclamation equal sign. If a guess word is not equal to the length of 5, or I'm sorry, if the length of the guess word is not equal to 5, and then I'm gonna guess we should probably do a type check, but I'm being lazy right now. If not is not equal to 5, print sorry, try that again. Try your guess wasn't your guess was not the appropriate length. Please try again. Okay, so the guess was not the appropriate length. Please try again. Okay, and then let's go ahead and try this out. Just to we're constantly testing things out here. So clear this out. Python main.py David. All right, so what is your guess? David Hundley. And sorry, your guess was not the appropriate length. Please try again. All right, so there we go. So that is doing a very basic validation to ensure that we have an appropriate syntax here. And my face is starting to get in the way, so let me move my face up. There we go. Okay, so let's continue on. So while new round, so we have set the guess count, so we have the actual word. All right, so now, so else, and so how do we get it to go back? So maybe we don't want to get, well, let's just keep going now for now. And so sometimes it's good to just kind of power through, even if it's not exactly the best, because we can always, when we have better ideas of how to do things better, then we can refactor the code later to be a more appropriate structure. So I'm going to keep going for now. So if it meets this condition, or if it is not this condition, then we're going to go into this else statement. Else, all right, so this is where we're actually going to make use of our helper function here. So this is where we are actually going to pass in the guess word and the actual word to our compare words function. And we're going to have our guess result. So I'm going to call this guess. Well, why did I call this final result? I don't like this. All right, guess result. I'm going to call this guess result. All right, guess result. Result. Okay, so I'm going to change all this up here because I just like the way that sounds better. So guess result. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. All right. All right. So if length. All right. Else. All right. So passing in our guess word and actual word to produce the guess result. All right. So guess result equals, what did I call this function? Compare words. Compare words. Passing it. What do I got? You got to make sure you pass it in the correct order. or actually explicitly note that guess word equals guess word or actual word equals actual word. So guess word, actual word. All right, so we are passing those two in, and then just for now, just for as a sanity check, let's print out actual. So actual word is actual word, and then guess result is guess result. Okay, so we're doing a little bit of cheating here because we're going to actually reveal whatever the word is, but that's just because I want to do a sanity check here to make sure that I'm not crazy. All right, so I probably need to lower. How do I do the lowercase functionality? So I want to make sure that this is all lowercase. So Python. Oh wait, I'm looking at my other screen. I should probably do it where y'all can see me. All right, so Python lowercase. All right, yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was just lower. Okay, so guess word is lower. Oh wait, now I want to put it over here. Lower input. So what this is basically doing is saying, okay, whatever this result is, lowercase it. And there's a reason that we want to do that, because when you do actual comparisons versus capital letters versus lowercase letters, technically the computer recognizes those as two different things. They have two different ASCII values. So I think if we try to equate them, then it would not be appropriate. So what is your guess? We're going to turn this into a lowercase result. And then, so yeah, let's go ahead and try this out once again. All right, so I'm going to break out of the loop here. Clear Python main.py. Lower is not defined. You actually have to import lower? Really? Really? String.lower. Oh, maybe? Maybe I thought you just could do it. String. Maybe we do have to import that. Okay. All right, import string. Okay. All right, string has no attribute lower. Okay, well, what is it then, guys? All right, string.lower. Okay, well, let's try this again. How do I lowercase a string? Oh, well, I guess we could try it this way then too. Whatever. Again, so the important thing when it comes to coding is that you make sure that you understand how things go, but not necessarily to remember the precise syntax of everything, although that does help. So obviously I am not recalling here how this is. Where is that? I just did this. Z, 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 Z. All right, not lower. All right, now are you gonna give me a problem? All right, so what is your guess, David? Okay, so the actual word is robot, and there was actually no correct letters in there, and it would have restarted the round there. So I'm gonna get a different word this time, which is fine. So lions. Oh, okay. Look, there we go. So it's well, I just realized you can't see. Let me see if I can help you out with that. Well, dang it, my dang logo is right in the way. So anyway, the actual word is knock, and I guess the word lions, and so obviously the word letter O is all right, but everything else is not right. So, but I'm glad to see this actually does appear to be working. Okay, so this is kind of working. So, all right, so we are actually guess result is that. So, I'm trying to think. So we want to loop back around to the input if for each new guess. So I'm trying to think what is the best way to absolutely do that, because I hate doing the nested if else statements. It's so nested if else statements are so not cute. they get ugly looking if we're not careful. Oh, by the way, the one thing I did not explain here, what this is actually doing. So we are printing out our strings here, but you might be thinking, well, what is this F thing? So we call this the F string. So this is a formatting string. So basically, you can print out something, and if you want to actually print out a variable, you can do it all in one line, and you just, within these curly braces here, you just pass in the variable, and it'll print it out for you. So that's what you were seeing there. So apologies for not explaining that. So I can go ahead and delete this, and let's go ahead and so we have our guess result. I guess we don't need to, well, okay, so let's, all right, checking to see if, all right, checking the validity. Okay, so we actually, okay, while All right, so we need to do another while loop here. So while guess count is less than or equal to what was it, 6? Okay, so this is basically saying, okay, continue this loop until the guess count is not too high. So I actually want to move this out of here then. So I want to move this out of here. All right, so this is getting our actual word. All right, and then, all right, so while new round. All right, so we're instantiating guess counter, keeping the round going while the guess count has not been exceeded. Okay, so we are getting the input of the guess. We're checking it. All right, so checking if the game is won or not. Okay, so what we are basically what we want to see at the end here is if it is the 5 green boxes, then you won. If not, then you got to go back and guess again. So if guess result, so let's do the ideal state. So if guess result equals the 5 green boxes. Okay, so 1. Oh, what? Okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't. That does not look pretty. Okay, so so this is basically saying if we won, then break. Okay, so we're gonna break out of the loop. So what this break keywords is saying, okay, if we win, then we want to break out of the loop. So we could, and this could either be a for loop or a while loop. So we're basically saying, okay, break, and then well, no, we don't want to break. I want to print. You guessed it right. Well, I want to do this as an F string. Sorry. So F string. You guessed it right. So I'm going to put within double bracket quotes here. So actual word is the correct answer. And then I'm going to put a party emoji. How about that? Because we're so happy we got it right. Actual word. Okay, so oops, didn't mean to do that. So actual word is the correct answer. Yay! And if we didn't get it right, so we want to do an else statement. Else. And then okay, so then maybe we want to break. All right, so then we want to break out of this loop. Else. Print. All right, so what we want to do is we probably want to print how many guesses we've done, and we want to print the guess result. So we here, well, so let's just go ahead and print the result here. Well, do we want to do here's your result? Print. Well, let's just print out the guess word, or no. Here's the current output. What do we want to call this? Here's the current status. Let's call it here's the current status. Here. The current status. Here's the current status, and then I'm going to do new line break character, and then all right, print. So we're just going to print out the guess result, and then we're going to print out the guess count. So, well, first we want to increment the guess count. Okay, so incrementing guess count. Okay. Well, actually, let's do this backwards. So let's say the guess count starts at. Well, no. I don't want to. What is the best way to do this? Okay. So all right. So printing out the guess. Here's your current status. Printing out the guess results, and then how many guesses do you have left? So equals. All right. So. All right. So incrementing the guess counter. So. We do want to increment the guess counter. So guess counter count plus equals 1. Okay, so now that will be 1. So, and I'm going to call this guesses left. guesses left equals 6 minus guess count. I know we probably could have done this a different way, but this is the way I kind of like to do it. So guesses left equals 6 minus the guess count. All right. Guesses left. All right. So print f. All right. So guesses remaining is guesses left. Well, I'm going to call this remaining. I know I am notorious for long variable names. I am sure that y'all don't like that, but I like to be as descriptive as if I can with my variable name. So, all right, so we are incrementing the guess counter and determining how many guesses are left. So if the guess count is result, then we are going to break out of that. Well, I guess we don't even need, if we're going to break, then I guess we don't need this else statement here. Okay, so all right, so if the guess result equals that, else, so guesses remaining, and then if, okay, so if okay, so maybe so while guess count. Okay, so that is, all right, so incrementing the guess count. Okay, so I guess we don't need this. All right, so let me delete out some of these. All right, so printing out the round results. Okay, all right, so this is printing out the round result. Here's your current status. So that's your guess result, and then guesses remaining, and then we want to circle back around. So when we circle back around, it'll basically say, yeah. Or okay, so actually I want to do this as an if statement. If this else, okay, all right. Determining what happens if you exceed the or printing out what happens if you exceed the number of guesses. So this is where I guess this will be elif guess. All right, so that is all right. But oh no, we did want to do that as a while statement. That's right? Okay. Ooh. Sorry. All right. While guess count is less than or equal to 6. All right. So and if it is, all right, then. Okay, so just trying to think through this here. All right, I'm gonna stop talking for a second because I need to stop talking so I can think about this. All right, so. Okay, why is that like that? Sorry, I'm a little bit confused why I got the red line of doom there. All right, so we want to start a new round. Okay, so well. Okay, so if we exceed the number of guesses, then we want to print out some stuff. So print out, sorry, you have exceeded all your guesses. And then I'm going to do a new line. I know I could probably do this with the new line characters. So we want to print out the actual word. The actual word was actual word. Okay. All right. So that is just doing one round. Okay, so that should be all good now. Okay, so we want to break out of this loop. Okay, well, no, I didn't do this right. I don't like the fact that we did. Okay, so that is if you lose. All right, so if All right, so we've broken out of this loop with this statement here. Although I don't know if this was the right way to go. So we break out of the loop, and then what? All right, so sorry. So the actual word was guess word, and then we want to start a new loop. But so basically, what I'm thinking is if I'm trying to think here. So. Well, out of curiosity, I just want to kind of run this to see how it works anyway. And I'm going to do it in this different terminal so it's easier for y'all to see. So repos, all right, ls, cd, python, Wordle clone, cd src, no, src, all right. Oh my gosh, all right, there we go, clear. Let's make this bigger for y'all. Okay, python, main.py, what is your guess, David? Okay, so 5 guesses remaining. What is your guess? Stream. Okay. Well, sorry, your guess was not the appropriate length. Please try again. I did something wrong here. That was what do you mean it was not the appropriate length? STR. Oh, that's 6 letters. Okay. I'm an idiot. All right, so how about looks? I'm just looking at the letters that. Okay, so looks. We're getting closer, so we got to address with that. So I did something wrong there, yeah. So the guesses are remaining. So we've got 1 in the right place. Okay, so the O is in the right place, and it looks like the K is in there. But I don't know. Let's try the word skate. Let's try that out. All right, so the letter K is in the wrong place. So there's an E. There's no. How about stove? Stove. 1 guess remaining. I don't. Okay, so there is something wrong in here. I don't want this new line character. Where was that at? All right, so here's your current status. Okay, yeah, that was my bad. All right, so guesses remaining. So stove was not it. What should we try now, folks? How about guard? Wait, I know this is not going to be right. So guesses remaining. All right, so what? Okay, so it is. Okay, so while the guess count is less than or equal to 6. So guesses remaining would be okay. So first, okay, I did this out of order a little bit. So guesses remaining, 6 minus the guess count. Okay. So we want to increment after this. Okay, there we go. All right. So I gave myself an extra guess there. I did this out of order. So this is why I like to test things out. All right. Let me move this over here. But I'm actually having fun. Like I'm glad to see that this is actually kind of working. How about the word Chrome? All right, so the actual word was poker. So now we've gone into negative land here. So but that's because I messed that up. Okay, so let's go ahead and break the loop here. So it's kind of working. Something's going well. It's just that I messed some stuff up here. So I did not. I guess the loop is still going if the stream is. So how do I get it back to the top here? So if that it is, then continue. Okay, how about the word continue? So what the word continue does is basically say, okay, if you have a loop, but you want to basically restart the loop without breaking out of the loop, you use the word continue. So maybe if I do that, that's probably the better way to do that. Okay. Please try again, because that's not going to increment our guess. So let's go ahead and try this out while this is here. So let's do this again. So what is hold on, clear. All right. So Python main.py. All right. So what is my guess? Movie. How about the word movie? Well, let me try something of like indescript amount of characters. What is your guess? And guesses remaining. Well, let me go ahead and put this in here too. So guesses remaining equals that, and then guesses remaining equals guesses remaining. Okay, now let's try this again. All right, clear. All right, so clear this. Python main.py. What is your guess? So movie. Okay, so the letter M is right. All right, so let's try this again. Chrome. Oh my gosh. I am in. Guesses remaining is but I didn't decrement the counter there. Okay, maybe I don't want to have this in here. Never mind. I don't want to have that there. So, all right. So let's try this again. All right. Clear this out. Clear. All right. Python main.py. Guess. What is my guess? My guess is guess. How about why can't I think of 5-letter words right now? Plays. How about plays? Chats. Okay, now let me just do something really long. Okay, that was not the right guess. So it should still be 4 guesses remaining. All right, so let me try the word star. Stars. I don't know. I just can't guess 5-letter words right now. What is 5-letter words right now? Why can I not guess this? All right, so what was that first word that I guessed there? So chats. So C. The word C is at the beginning, and the word. All right, so how about cat? C. Catsy. Is Catsy a word? And I'm not even gonna worry about spell checking. Like that's probably out of scope of our project here. So the A was right. So the A was right there. Charm. The actual word was coral. Oh, but here. Okay, so all right. So I guess is remaining. All right, it's 4. So then I guess the wrong thing. And okay, so this is actually working, kind of. No, this is actually working for 1 round. Okay, this is actually working for 1 round. Now, but the problem is that we're going into negative land territory. Sorry, what is your guess? And then SSSSS. Okay, I don't know if y'all know this, but there's an S in this one. There's an S at the end of this word, so stars. Oops, not stars. Okay, all right, we're doing a little bit better now. Apparently, I'm terrible at Wordle. Okay, the words. All right, so we have R A in the middle. So R, and then it ends with the letter S. So races. That's probably not right. Okay, so but we're getting closer. So R and S at the end, and then we definitely know that A is in the middle, and so there is an E in there. Reels. That is oh my gosh, we might actually get this one. All right, rears. Come on, reads. Yeah. All right. So here's the problem. Now it's still showing that I failed out here. So this is still not working exactly like it should. But at least I'm so terrible at Wordle. Oh my gosh, this is a fun. This has turned out to be a lot funner of a live stream than I thought it would be. Okay, so the way we can check this for sure is if guess count. All right. So if guess count equals 6, then okay, so while it's less than or equal to 6, that's fine. So if it equals 6, then sorry. All right, so then now, okay, so this is where things we're getting close to the end here, which is good because my voice is starting to give out again. Okay, so now that this is basically doing 1 round. So the question is like if we want to do a new round, what do we do? So this is where we are going to use the help of a new Python language that I discovered about an hour and a half ago called a Python Inquirer. So that's what I did in this test.py file here. So what this Inquirer thing is doing is basically saying, okay, when we import this thing, we can set a list of choices to be like yes or no, and then we can have it prompt. So let's go ahead. Let me just go ahead and show you this. So Python test.py, and so you can see here that I can actually select from my keyboard yes or no. And so if I select yes, then like yes, let's do another round. So it actually did I print out? Okay, yeah, I did. So it is saving it as a dictionary, and then we are accessing the key of that dictionary to actually do this dealio here. Yeah. I'm liking this comment. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So basically, we need to do the same thing here. So another round prompt. All right. So I'm just gonna copy this thing here. So I'm gonna call this another round prompt. All right, we got to make sure I'm doing it on the right line here. So, all right, another round prompt. All right, so I'm going to call this prompting the user if they want to do another round. Would you like to play another round? Yeah, I'm going to call this another round prompt. Okay, so our options are going to be yes or no. And then acting appropriately on the another round prompt. Okay, so basically what we're going to do here is if another round prompt, and then what is another round prompt? Is that right? I got to remember the syntax here. So, oh, and I do need to import this at the top. So at the top, so import inquirer, import inquirer. Okay, so there we go. And then, so we did it. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so if another round prompt equals yes, then continue. I guess we don't need to do it. I guess we only really need to do no. Well, I guess we do want to print it out. So print. Great. Let us start another round. All right, and then else. So elif if another round prompt. Oh my gosh, round prompt. Ugh. Come on, dude. I'm losing steam here. All right, but we're getting so close. Another round prompt equals no. And we're going to print out thanks for playing. Thanks for playing anyway. Then we are going to set the Boolean value up here to be false. New round equals false. And then if new round equals false, then it's basically going to exit out because this while loop only continues while this is actually true. Okay, so that should be everything. Now let's go ahead and try this out again, and then we'll see how this goes. Okay, so let's see how this goes. All right, so clear this out. Python test up or main.py. All right, welcome to my Wordle game. Let's hope you have a good time. What is my first guess? So I'm just looking around my room. So power. All right, so okay, so we got a W. And then how about a water? Okay, so W is now in the right place, and then E is still in the wrong place. Wrench. Okay, now, well, sorry. I always want to think that these 6-letter words are not. Oh, all right. So how about wench? Okay, so WE is at the beginning. All right. And then maybe I want to do a new line character after this because I'm getting a little bit lost on. Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking about formatting out loud right now. All right, so what is my guess? All right, so we guess weird. Okay, no. Wests. not a real word. So WE something S. Where's. Okay, no, and then let me guess one more time. So this is definitely not gonna be right, but Ritz. Indices must be integer, not of slice, or not integer. Okay, so I did something wrong here, which is fine. So yes, no, equals. If, so another round. Try again. All right, what did I do wrong here? So. Would you like to play again? All right, another round equals yes. All right, so what did I do wrong here? All right, another round prompt. And then another round. Well, let me just call this yes or no. So something's goofy here. Yes or no. Yes or no. Oh, that's because I didn't actually initiate this. That's right. That's why. Okay. Duh. Okay, so that would be why. Okay. All right. And let me see how I initiated this. So I just taught myself how to do this like an hour ago, so I'm not. All right, so inquirer.prompt. Oh, okay. Another round equals inquirer.prompt. Another round prompt. Okay. Asking the user if they want to play new round. Okay, so I'm going to change the comment. Setting up the thing. Setting up the prompt to ask for a new round. Okay, so there we go. And then I'm going to change this to yes or no. Yes or no. And then I'm going to change this from another round prompt to that, to that. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. All right, so clear this again. And then, okay, so Python main.py. What's my guess? Setup. Okay, not very good there. So how about I don't know, Apple. Nope. Orange is 6 letters. I keep messing this up. All right, I'm looking around. 5-letter words. 5-letter words. I definitely know this is not a real word, but I just saw Seth Godin's name up on my wall there. So all right, this is interesting. So we have an ALE and then an I and an N. ALE, IN. Oh, could it be? All right. So, all right. Oh, that's because it's the D. ALEID. 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 Okay, so those are the right letters. All right, so we just need to rearrange them now. Diley. Oh my gosh. Why can I not do this? All right, so the letter E is in the right place. ADLI. Okay, so okay, IDELA. Ideal. Yeah. Okay, so something's still wrong here. I have not exceeded on. Well, I did not exceed on my guesses. Okay. What is the best way around this? Okay, I know the laziest way around this. So the laziest way around this is gonna be if I just say, got it right equals true. This is so lazy. So got it right equals true. So if guess count equals 6, and got it right false. All right. Then you've exceeded all your guesses. Okay, but all right. So this is still working. So would you like to play another round? I'm gonna say no. Thanks for playing anyway. All right, and then it exited out. Hot dog. All right. So let me try this one more time. Well, I guess I should have done it with trying another round. Main.py. I'm getting tired of y'all seeing me just struggle through Wordle. All right, guard. Okay, no. How about Apple? No. Radar. No. Oh my gosh. Start. Wow, I'm doing really bad. Ebsy. It's a good thing we're getting close to being done with this. Oh, sorry. I'm just checking my Steam Deck here because I was downloading the new Spider-Man game, which just came out for Steam today. Oh, okay, it looks like it's done. All right, so good. because I'm planning to play that after here on my Steam Deck when it's done. Okay, so all right, so guesses remaining. What was your guess? How about guess? My guess is guess. Wow, I am really off. All right, so tell me, what is it? Guesses remaining 0. Would you like to play another round? Okay. Got it. Oh, so I need to set it to be like, all right, instantiating. Value. Got it right equals false. Okay, so we are breaking out of that loop, and then, yeah, okay. All right, that was my bad. Again, all right, and again, this is probably not the best way to implement this. So clear, all right, Python main.py. All right, so let me just get this wrong intentionally every single time, just because I want to make sure that this is actually working. All right. All right, so here's your. All right, so would you like to play another game? Guesses remaining equals 0. Got it right. Equals false. Well, it is equal to false, right? Got it right. Equals false. All right, maybe I gotta do parens here. Sometimes you gotta do parens in these if statements. Alright, let me try this again. Alright, clear. Alright, Python main.py. Okay, so something's not working here. Alright, if guess count equals 6. Alright, so okay, so there's a different way we can do this. All right, so, and I'm gonna get rid of this got it right thing because this is silly. Why did I do this? All right, and then we would break the loop. Okay, okay, so here's what we're gonna do instead. So, printing out the status if you exceed the number of guesses if. Here's your guess result. Guesses remaining. Okay. If guess can. All right. So guesses remaining would be equal to 0. Okay. So if it's equal to 0. Okay. So I want to put this actually above here, I guess. That's right. All right. If. And then, so then we would want to break out of the loop. So break. Okay, so maybe that's the better way to do it. Okay. All right, so clear. All right, Python main.py. All right, so I'm just guessing again. Rocks, socks, mains. The actual word was maybe. Okay. Why did it skip down to main? Sorry, you exceeded all your guesses. All right, so guesses remaining. I don't know if you saw that there. So guesses remaining is 6. Well, guesses remain. Okay. All right, so you have 6 guesses. So guesses remaining is 6 minus the guess count. Oh, maybe I need to instantiate the guess counter as 1. Okay. All right. You are seeing all the dumb little errors that I would make, that if I was better prepared for this, then maybe you wouldn't see all this silliness here. All right, so what is your guess? All right, so why is it's breaking out after that number? All right, so guess count equals, all right, so 1 minus 6 is 5, 4, 3, 2. 1. So, all right, so on round 1 it would be 1, 2, 3. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. It's only going up to 4, and then it's like breaking it. I'm like, why is it doing that? if guess count equals 6, then you want to break out of here. All right, so 6 minus the guess count is guesses remaining, so guesses. All right. All right, so for now, current guess count. Oh, because we don't want to increment until after this. Okay. Okay, I don't know if this is actually going to work, but we shall see here in a second. All right, so guess count plus equals 1. All right. I'm going to print off the starting, so. All right, so print f starting round what? Number, $sign number, guess count. Guess result, guess count. I'm sure I'm doing something silly here. Okay, clear. Python main.py. Starting round 4, starting round 5, starting round 6. Okay, so that actually appears to have worked. All right, so, all right, do we want to play another game? Let's say yes, starting round 1. Okay, oh, that's because I have this debugging statement. Okay, so I think I think it's working now. So let me take out my debugging statement there, which is a terrible way to code, but you know, when you are live streaming in front of a live audience, you get kind of desperate. Okay, oh my gosh, I've been going for an hour and a half. Goodness. All right, but I think we're actually probably good to go at this point. All right, so let's try let's try this one legitimate final time. If hopefully nothing actually breaks. So what is my actual guess? All right, so I'm gonna use the word guess, radar, steam. All right, so the word makes. Okay, so the letter S is in here, or the letter E is in here. Makes. Alright, so I have one guess remaining. Oh, how about state? Alright, sorry, the word was enjoy. Alright, the actual word was enjoy. Would you like to play another round? So let's do yes. Alright, great. Let us start another round. Alright, so now we are back through. Alright, so let's see if we can do this again now. Alright, so enjoy. Okay, so there is an O and an N. All right, so the N, knock. All right, so all right, so NOC is in there, and we had O in the right place. Gnome. Okay, still not getting it. Oh my gosh. I am apparently terrible at Wordle, and y'all are discovering this live. All right, so movie. How about that? All right, so the word letter O. Okay, so it's got an O. I'm not gonna get this. It's got all right. So O. All right, so O in 2 places. So O. What has an O and then another O in it? So modal. I know that's definitely not a word. Cool. All right, so did I actually? Okay, so I don't want to play another game, and thanks for playing anyway. But the good news is it appears to be working now. Now, the thing we could have enhanced this, so we put all of our code basically in the main.py file here, and this is where I think I would have wanted to actually do this as a separate function. So while new round. So is there a way that we could have transformed this into a function instead of doing it as we did and then putting it over into the other area? So while new round, I don't know. As of right now, I think we could but this is working for me for now just fine. And I'm getting tired of talking, and my voice is giving out. So I'm calling it a day here because we got a working thing. It's not the prettiest thing, but it works. And you all discovered that I'm terrible at Wordle today. So we're gonna call it a day here while I'm still ahead, except I'm not ahead. But wow, that was the most interesting live stream, and so that was something else. All right, so I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna go play Spider-Man on my Steam Deck over here, and I'm gonna be done with this. So hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you all learned something at least. So this is how we think through things with just computer science in general. So you got to see my unprepped self, what happens if we're not prepared. You got to see a little bit of how I think about things, or not just how I think about things per se, but how any software developer would think about how to actually organize something like this. And even now I'm thinking about there's probably a better way to organize this, but I'm done. It's been an hour and a half. This stream's gone way too long, and I'm sure you all want to get out of here too. So hope you all enjoy this one. I will catch you in the next one, and hope you all have a great weekend. Thank you.